Jacob was a man known for being impeccably well dressed. Every few hours, one could see him darting into his room to change into a fresh set of clothes. His friends often joked that his wardrobe must rival that of a department store. He prided himself on his appearance, believing that the outer cleanliness mirrored one's inner virtue. But this wasn't quite true for Jacob. In the bustling town where Jacob lived, people were sharply aware of each other's business. Despite Jacob's polished exterior, they whispered about the nature of his thoughts. Unlike his attire, his mind was not a thing of neatness and order. It was a place of judgment and self-righteousness, cloaked in the guise of concern for others' well-being. Jacob's thoughts fed off the need to scrutinize the actions of his peers. He would see a friend having a drink and silently label them as lacking self-control. If he observed someone laughing too loudly in a cafe, he'd mentally tag them as attention-seeking. The irony was never lost on him. His thoughts were a mess despite the meticulous order he maintained with his clothes. What puzzled the town even more was Jacob's ability to defend these thoughts with fervor. He rationalized them as necessary critiques, viewing himself as a guardian of morality. "It's not gossip when it's the truth," he would argue, misunderstanding the fine line he danced around. One evening, Jacob attended a community event in yet another pristine outfit. Underneath his polished coat, he held a notepad to jot down imperfections he noticed, how he might gently help those who veered off the path he deemed correct. As he circulated around the room, the looks he received were less for admiration and more for skepticism. Not everyone was privy to his private thoughts, but a few who had known him long saw through his facade. Anna, an old acquaintance, approached him, engaging him in conversation. "Jacob, you're always so well put together," she remarked, scanning his spotless attire. "One must stay clean in this world," Jacob replied. Anna chuckled softly. "True, but what about cleaning from within? How do you make sure your thoughts are as pure as your clothes?" Her words lingered longer than Jacob expected. That night, as he removed the final piece of his day's attire, he stood in front of the mirror. For the first time, Jacob wasn't just looking at his reflection. He was searching beyond his crisp image. Could he cleanse his thoughts as easily as he did his clothes? Could he admit his critical nature might not align with the moral crusader he envisioned? It was a new thought, a crack in the pristine veneer. The path to change is often uncomfortable, but as Jacob realized, addressing the inner grime might lead him to wear a different attire every day, a garment of understanding and acceptance that could be the most dignified attire of them all.